the area with a leftmost point and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 subintervals. Base is 1, so I'm going to leave it out. So I have f of 0 plus f of 1 plus f of 2 plus f of 3 plus f of 4. Okay? So the leftmost point, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So these have to be 5. If you continue and put f of 5, there will be a big mistake. So it says 5 heights. The height at 0, the height at 1, the height at 2, 3, 4. So all you have to do is just find f of 0, which is 1, f of 1, which is 2, f of 2, which is 5, f of 3, which is 10, f of 4, which is 17. And you add them up. So this is 20, 30, 35. Any questions? Is there anything else we need to go back to?
I don't understand this one. If I do on right, what I'm going to do?
You cannot do it for right because you have to look at the graph. How can you do it on the right? Do you have an area here to do it with the right? You don't. So the first rectangle stops here. So you have to use the leftmost point. The next rectangle stops here. So you have to use the leftmost point. See? You cannot use this height. You don't have this height. It has to touch the function. The height is to the function. Is that okay?
I have a question.
Yes?
If you wanted to do it from the right, couldn't you just find like the f of 5 and then find that area?
But the graph is the shaded area. You cannot use this because it's not shaded. It's not. You're not asked to use the right.
Okay.
So if the shaded area is this, see, I'm not sure if you see my mouse. Do you see the mouse or not? Maybe not.
I do.
Okay, so if the shaded area is this, you have no choice but use the rightmost point. For the next one, it should have been this area. But it's not. It's not that area is not shaded. This area is shaded, which means you have to find this height.
That's the underestimate, right?
Yes. Correct. Because the function is increasing. Yes. Very good question.
So,
yes?
And so is number 19 overestimate?
Yes, because it's a decreasing function and we are using the leftmost point. So here I have no choice again but to use the leftmost point because that's where the function is and where the shaded area is. Correct. Also here. Also here. I guess they don't like the rightmost point. This book doesn't like the rightmost point. They only want the left. Good, very good discussion, very good questions. Anything else? Do we have anything else? Okay, so in that case, let's continue. Now, let's look at the word problem here because I don't remember working on any word problems. So let's go back to 403 and illustrate, or 402, and illustrate with what we are looking for. Total cost from marginal cost. That's one option. I guess total profit from marginal profit. I have not presented this notation to you, but it's exactly the same. Let me explain what that means. It's the sum of this times this, plus this times this, plus this times this, plus this times this, plus this times this. Okay?
I
Yes?
hear you when you say, if I use 5, what's gonna be? It's wrong. I think here you say don't use 5.
You mean 5 subintervals?
No, in the example you did.
Okay. So it says, first of all, I'm asking you how many rectangles do you see here?
5.
Okay, so what I was saying, that if you make the error to add in here f of 5, you are using 6 subintervals instead of 5. And that would be incorrect. One height, the second height, the third height, the fourth height, and the fifth height. So you have 5. If you make the error to put that in, it will be totally wrong. That's what I was saying. If you have the rightmost point, then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not this one. If you have the leftmost point, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, for the rightmost point, you will not have this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what I was saying. Not to make the error to go one more step. Don't add that in case you are taking notes, of course. Is that better, Tess? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. I did it on right side, but
so if it's the right hand side, if it's yes, at the leftmost point, if it's the rightmost point, you start at 1. And you finish with 5.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very good question. Good. So let's look at a word problem now. So would you like to look at total cost from marginal cost, total profit from marginal profit? They love the cost. So let's look at the cost. Would you like to choose one, or I will? Okay, I'm going to choose 39. And this is on 403. So ship shape, okay, very nice. They have a marginal cost, which we know it's C prime of x. So negative point, I see 4 zeros. Correct me if I'm wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. X squared minus 0.04x plus 45. And they're saying somewhere between 0 and 800 for x. C prime is in cents. Okay. Cents per unit, of course. That's okay. Approximate the total cost of manufacturing 800 feet of molding using 5 subintervals over 0 to 800. And the left endpoint. So they prefer the left endpoint. Fine. Good. So we have the interval between 0 and 800. We are using n subintervals, which is 5. And we want to approximate. Okay, I think they meant here where C is in cents, not C prime. You know that, right? So I think this is a typo here. Okay, probably the total cost of manufacturing. So using 5, leftmost point. Fine. So what I do, I draw 0 to 800. I divide 800 minus 0 for delta x, right? 800 minus 0 divided by 5. So I have 160. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0 to 160. 160 plus another 160. 320. 320 plus another 160. 480. 480 plus another 160 is 640. Plus another 160, 800. So the function is somewhere here. I don't care where it is. Who cares? But since I'm asked to find the cost for using the leftmost point with 5 subintervals, I will use this height. I will use this height this height, and this height. Stop, because I need 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the cost or total cost will be base times height, 160 times f of 0. Okay? C prime of 0 plus C prime of 160 plus C prime of 320 plus C prime of 480 plus C prime of 640. Oops, C prime of 640. So I put the function in the graphing calculator. I am ready with the calculator. Okay, C, clear. So our function is negative 0.12342x squared, and then minus 0.04x, and then plus 45. Plus 45. And then I go to what I would like to show you is how I'd like to do it. But again, you don't have to do it that way. I like as little error as possible. So I go to Stat and I edit. And I edit list L1. And in list L1, I have 0. I have 160. I have 320. I have 480. And I have 640. And in list L2, I will put in this function. So 160 in front, and in parentheses, all this list with the function itself. No, I don't need the so I have 160, and in parentheses I have negative 0.00002 list L1 squared. So we will do this, all these squared, and then minus 0.04 and list L1 squared. No, not squared, and plus 45, and close. Okay, so what this is the x squared here, the x here, and plus 45. When I click enter, it will populate all these values right away. At 0, it will give us the area. At 160, it will give us the area, and so on and so forth. And then we're going to add these areas. Boom. Okay, so now the other thing we do is we calculate, and we calculate one variable stats for list L2. Boom. Here it is. Here's the sum. So the total area is 23302.4. I like to do it this way. You don't have to. So by having the function in here, all you need to do is just go in and plug in 0, plug in 160, plug in 320. I don't like to do this because it gives error. 480, 640, let me check my function. Okay, we don't have to check this. For some reason, I'm getting a different answer. So did I copy the function correctly in both situations? Negative 0.00. I saw 4 zeros. Yeah. So maybe when did I enter all these correctly? I did. Because for some reason I'm getting a smaller number, much smaller number. So, oh, yeah, the 0 is missing, but 0 should not be a problem. So 45. So I'm not getting what I just got from. I have to just go back and look at the list that I created. As I said, you don't have to do it that way. I prefer adding instead of calculating and adding myself. But what I'm getting, I'm just adding the numbers now. So 160 and 45. Oh yeah, because I have to multiply by 160. That's what it was. So these numbers don't contain the 160. So 45 and then plus 38.08 plus 30 plus 0.152 plus 21.192 and plus 11.208. Okay, so now when I add these numbers and I multiply by 160, let's see what we get. 45 plus 38.08 plus, oh, what is going on? 45 plus 38.08 plus 30.152 plus 21.192 plus 11.208. Close, and let's see the answer. Okay, perfect. This is, of course, not exact. What I got with my method was exact, but this is acceptable. It's close enough. 23301, and the exact is 23302.4. Okay, so this is approximately 23301. And with my method, with the statistical application that you saw, the one variable stats, that was the correct answer. And this is good enough.